ShinRobjira.
Yes, friends and neighbors, it's finally happened. I finally acquired Bandai Megalon. This is apparently the memorial box version, and he's still pretty sizable for a memorial box figure, so that might have been a mislabeling. Not quite sure yet. Future Rob interrupting real quick. It seems that the Bandai version, which came with the tag obviously, does not have the paint on the upper thigh while the memorial box version does. It also seems that the memorial box version has a bit more of a shinier base color than the Bandai version does, but this is just my deduction. If you can tell me otherwise, please do in the comment section down below. But anyway, Bandai Megalon. He's here. Finally. Ironically, right after we all found out that the Bandai Movie Monster series will be releasing a Megalon figure of their own. Ah well. Yeah, none of these boys are in scale with one another, but that's perfectly fine, because you know why? I have him, and that's all that matters. Now, if you've ever hunted for a Bandai Megalon figure, you know finding one in pristine condition is really hard to do, especially for an affordable price. Now, when it comes to my copy of Megalon here, he's not perfect, but I definitely think he looks a lot better than some of the other ones out there that are grossly overcharging you for a banged up figure. I also don't think I paid too much for this thing either. Anyway, the horn always seems to take the brunt of all of the abuse, and this one, not so bad. I'm also quite interested to see that it's only painted on one side, that being the front. Interesting. Fantastic detail adorns Megalon's head. Look at all of that pristine, loving beauty. And look at them teeths. Really, really love the eyes. Look at them. They're like demon golf balls from hell. Yeah, it's a real movie. And they just further accentuate Megalon's insectoid origins, or Atlantean insectoid origins, something like that. Taking a look at Megalon's chest, neck, and shoulder area, you can see that he has those weird petal hair things that he has, and they're in this very nice metallic rustic orange we got going on here, as well as this strip over here leading from his neck all the way to the base of his tail. And again, there's just a lot of detail to take in here. You can see the petals, you can see the hair, you can see all the little bumps and grooves on these things. It's just a very, very, very good looking figure, even with all of the paint abrasions on it. He's had many fatal battles over the years, but now finally he may rest within my collection. Moving on further down, more fantastic detail on Megalon's chest and rib and waist area. Again, that strip is continuing down a lot further. You can see a lot of the chipped paint over here. That is unfortunate, but that's what you're gonna have to deal with in this case, at least until July. But turning the figure sideways, again, more fantastic detail, my dude. And lifting this arm up, we can see one of Megalon's very well-known drill hands over here. Very nicely done. A little bit of wearing on the pointed part over here. Okay, that's not a little bit, it's a lot. But it all does look really, really nice. And switching it over to the other side, you can see the flattened part of Megalon's drill. Fantastic detail over here and on the other side of the arm. And this is something that I've seen a couple other figures and even the video games get a little wrong here. Megalon's arms are only half drills. They're not full drills. And you know, I understand some figures like this mini-mate right here are just taking some artistic liberties and giving him full drills per hand. It's just not exactly accurate, as you can see right here. See? Half drill. Yeah, you know what? I'll just show you pictures instead of shoving a DVD case in your faces. But yes, this is accurate to Megalon, despite what you've seen in maybe some games and some other figures. I mean, I ain't knocking them for doing that. I actually prefer that, but this is nice too. This arm in particular did fare a lot better when it comes to the silver paint, but yet again, look at all that lovely detail. Very, very nice. And flipping him over to the other side, yet again, detail, silver, and a little bit of wearing at the tip over here. Not as bad as the other side. He want hug. Give him hug! Moving on down to the waist and leg area, you can see that strip has finally completed its journey at the base of Megalon's tail. Well, slightly at the base of Megalon's tail, not exactly at the base of Megalon's tail. A lot of that fantastic scale feather looking things over here, same ones that are on Megalon's neck. Moving into the shins, legs, and feet. And the toes on this guy's feet are nice, stumpy, little shoehorn looking motherfucker. I don't know. But turn him to the side. What do we got here? Some flesh tone looking stuff on the side of Megalon's leg? Very nice. I just wish it kind of carried over to the front of the figure as well. Because, you know, this is very nice. It's different. It disrupts the majority of the color palette that's going on Megalon. It's just, I don't know. Let's look and see if this is even accurate, shall we? Since I made a stink about his frickin' drill bits beforehand. That might be an accurate color. It might just be a tad too bright. I'm including pictures here so you can all see what I'm talking about here. But either way, it's a nice color inclusion, whether it's accurate or not. And now let's take a look at the back. Up first, we have Megalon's stumpy little tail with some spikes on it. And of course, moving up along Megalon's back, we have all of these fantastic, almost Mothra-looking Thunderstrike designs on Megalon's wing shell thing. I don't know. I'm sure somebody will correct me in the comments on the morphological name for these things. But yes, these do look awesome. They're not entirely fully painted either. Some of them are a little too painted. Those obviously weren't meant to be gold. And some of them aren't fully painted, as you can see over here. Let me just bring it towards you. You see what I'm saying? That should have been gold. Those probably should have been black. That should have been gold. This up here should have been gold. You know, just kind of flawed in some areas. But he's also covered in scratches from other figures possibly being thrown at him, so I'm really not upset about it. I'm just pointing stuff out so people don't think I'm blind. And then we are led back up to the back of Megalon's head, and there's really not too much going on here aside from detail, and it's very, very nice looking. Oh, wait, I didn't even notice this before, but this is all detailed and textured. Very, very nice. I wonder if it'll be like that for the Movie Monster series release. Another thing that I absolutely wanted to point out was just the fact that the detail of the skin absolutely smoothens out once we get to the head wand, the horn. I don't know, I just find that to be a very nice attention to detail there. And yeah, just wanted to point that out. It's cool. Man, what a buggy looking boy Megalon is. But I am, of course, 100% satisfied with what I have right now. And then comes July. But anyway, time for articulation. Spin at the head area. Yes. Arms can begrudgingly go all the way around on both sides. Do be careful though, not to nick any of the paint, because as you can tell, this guy is clearly paint deficient when it comes to friction. And of course, you will be able to go all the way around at the legs. On both sides, and that's it. Yep, nothing in the tail. Don't know if you were expecting that, and obviously nothing in the wings, since this is one solid piece. Did you think I forgot? I absolutely did. It's been a couple of days. I'm sorry, everybody. Paint-wise, I must give Megalon a half a star, not because of his damaged appearance, but just because there are certain parts of this figure that I do feel could have used a little bit more paint, especially right here on the thighs. You painted them on one side, why not just paint the whole thing, Bandai? Come on. Detail-wise, this guy is definitely getting a full star because he is detailed out the wazoo. Articulation-wise, he's a Bandai figure. You should pretty much expect that you're not going to get the craziest amount of detail, but he has all of the normal points for an articulated Bandai figure, so I'm gonna give that a full star as well. So yes, that does count as a full-on recommend for this figure if you can find it for the right price, because Jeebs, I got this guy pretty cheap, but at the end of the day, I still did pay $72 for this thing. I can understand why this guy is so beloved in figure format, though. This figure does look great, and he looks great with other figures as well. Sure, he's not fully in scale with my Godzilla, Gigan, and Jet Jaguar. Who knows, maybe he'll be more in scale with the newer Jet Jaguar that's coming out in June. I don't know, you don't know, we don't know yet, but what I do know right now is that this figure looks freaking amazing. At the end of the day, I couldn't recommend this figure enough. I do wish he was more readily available for more people to have him in their collection and in good condition. I do wish the majority of these were in better condition, but you take what you can get for the time being till July. And overall, I really enjoy this thing. Well, friends and neighbors, I see you. I see you there. You're about to click off the video, aren't you? Well, don't, because the video's not over quite yet. Yes, this is my very first Bandai Megalon figure, and yes, I've been looking for him for a very, very long time, but returning faces to the channel will know that I have another Megalon figure that I can compare this lad to. Yes, it is his time to shine again, the Mustard King. Arise, my child, from the depths of my collection, and quite possibly one of the dustiest shelves in my collection. Oh. Yes, for those of you who don't know, this is an M1 Bullmark repurposed, re-released, remolded, I don't know, Megalon figure. I completely forgot. I'll put it on the screen somewhere. The reason why he's in this funky little box here is that this is known as a base color M1 or something like that. I actually don't know. Wow, I'm botching this so bad. But basically, when M1 redid all of these, they made only 40 single color versions, and I happen to have one of those 40, and we're going to take him out of this and compare him to the Bandai figure. Now let's see if I remember how to do this correctly. Okay, just gonna lift this up a tick. Take him out. There we are. Oh no. Oh, he still smells like fresh. Huh? So I'm not going to lie, I was expecting both of these figures to look a lot more similar to one another, but they really don't. Mustard King Megalon is much taller, his little horn antler at the top of his head is a bit shorter, and I feel he's a lot less slouchy looking as compared to the Bandai one. In fact, just looking at this profile view of both of these figures, you can tell just how different they are. Shorter head wand, shorter antennae, smaller eyes, smaller mouths. You can actually see the little weird jewel on this Megalon's head. This one you kind of have to like tilt him up and you can see it right there. The mouths are different. The little chest piece over here is different. This chest is a lot longer and got some titties, while this one is a lot shorter, a bit stockier, and has no titties. The changes only continue as you get to the feet. Stumpy can openers, sharp little buggers, I don't know. Heck, Mustard King Megalon even has a longer tail with an extra spike as compared to this guy's 4. He has 5. I'd even go as far to say that the markings on Megalon's back are different as well. And if we move up a little bit further and get closer here, you can see that the top of Megalon's winged area is a lot different as well. This even has a centerpiece over here where this one does not. Very interesting across all marks. I mean, even look at the bottom of his neck over here. This guy has got some corpus malorpuses over here, and this guy does not. Same monster, 2 different figures, 2 different makers, but just wholly awesome. These things look great together. I love the fact that there was more than one mold being passed around between different companies. Now, I know when it comes to M1, Bullmark, Marmot, and all that, these molds are almost the same. I think there might be 1 variant, maybe even 2, but for the most part, it's nice to see that both Bandai and Marmot were pulling different duties for these figures. I don't know what I was expecting. I honestly did think that Marmot and Bandai just used the same molds for the longest time, but clearly they didn't, and I'm an idiot. Either way, it's nice to now have 2 sizable Megalon figures in my collection. I do love the Bandai Megalon figure. I love it so very much, even though he's all beat up. And no, I am not going to be replacing him once the Movie Monsters version comes out. In fact, hold on a second here. Sorry to stop out of nowhere, but I just realized that this guy's little part over here isn't painted silver. Wow. Okay. You can see what I'm talking about right here, as this part is painted silver. Is that going to affect the final score? Absolutely not. Look at this thing. This thing is beautiful. Look at him. Yes. And that's about going to wrap it up for my review of the Bandai Japan Megalon figure. I do so hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all throughout the week as I get even more Bandai stuff that I have to show you in the quickness, because 2 of those things are the Bandai Movie Monster Series Godzilla Singular Point, Anguirus, and Manda. And I hope you'll all stick around to check the other stuff out, which will remain a secret for the time being. I have been ShinRobjira. I do so hope you enjoyed. Peace out, fam.